All right, it is 7 PM. We'll call this city council meeting to order. If we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Doing roll call, all voting members are present, other than Councilmember Lundin, who let me know he would not be able to make it tonight. He's working on a boiler, and he doesn't want that person to go out without heat overnight. So next, we will go into, I would like to read a public statement before we open up the public comment. So the community got out and voted yesterday. While the community made their voices heard on the no vote, we also need to consider the 40% that voted yes in hopes of school improvements. Their vote meant a lot too. And most agree there are definite needs at the schools which we can work together to address. Before this election concluded, I had already started to gather names of people willing to either A, donate money to the schools for necessary repairs, or B, help with the necessary repairs. There is such a strong community of tradesmen, including myself, willing to donate our own time or money, rather than taking it away from those that maybe simply can't afford it. My leadership methods may be loud, atypical of a politician, misunderstood, and don't always hit home for everybody, but since day one, I've always been dedicated to making sure the most efficient and equitable action happens for our entire community of taxpayers, our kids, and our schools. That's the job of a mayor, to juggle everything and advocate for everyone as best as possible. For the last 4 months, I was advocating for the taxpayers. Now, the taxpayers' voices have been heard, I'll be advocating for the schools and the kids. Leadership is finding a reasonable compromise and actual solutions to a difficult situation and making it happen. If any additional tradesmen or donors would like to get involved, I'd like to continue to help gather resources personally, not in a city capacity, maybe working with the Building Blue Jackets organization or another separate organization of community members to come up with something that will accomplish a similar goal, but also considers our community's strong desire to save tax money and my strong desire to protect those that can't afford it or choose not to be involved. The city of Isani saw the same strategy work with Illuminate Isani, which is now ran primarily by volunteers. Thank you for the volunteers who decided it was important and got involved instead of taxpayers simply flipping the bill. Thank you very much to that group of volunteers. The same thing can happen with the schools. Now, it won't happen overnight. There will be differences and growing pains, but a strong community is built by giving everyone the choice to work together. We can work to make it happen for our schools and our kids while respecting those that decided to cast a no vote yesterday. Please reach out if you'd like to be involved in fundraising or collaborating on projects regarding the schools. We can come up with a solution that positively impacts and works for everyone of our community. Thank you. So tonight, we will open up to public comment, but there will be a couple rules in place. Due to lengthy public comment that has been primarily outside of the scope of city business and caused a lack of completion of some city business items in the duration of our meeting time, we will be using the 3-minute time limit this evening for public comment and remind speakers that public comment shall be kept to city-related business and not personal or political attacks, as per our established city public comment policy. This time is to address the board with pertinent city business, not politics or issues outside of our normal city discussion items. So with that being said, I'll open up the public comment. If anybody would like to come on forward, just state your name and address for the record. Thanks for coming in, Todd.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Good night here. Good turnout. My name is Todd Christensen, County Commissioner.
Turn your mic on, I think.
What do we got here? Hello? Oh, geez, now it's really loud. Yeah. Hey, Todd Christensen, County Commissioner, District 4. I just wanted to come in and ask you guys what you think about the roundabout so far. I've been looking at it and stuff, and it seems like traffic is rolling, going along there pretty good, moving pretty good, steady pace. Looking forward to when they can finish that, this next spring, when we can do the rest of it out to 65 and back to the railroad tracks. But anyway, it seemed like it was flowing good from what I've seen. Is you guys got any thoughts or comments on it?
So I've only had surprisingly one complaint, which I'm really happy to hear. I wasn't sure how it was going to go, and that was about the merging. Obviously, the 2 into 1 lane was a concern, but we do have in our schematic for next year to do a 4.5-foot painted white line to make it more obvious that if you're in this lane, you cannot pass over. Like if you're turning left into Minco Drive, you cannot then merge. It's a solid white line that's going to be very obvious. So that'll be corrected next year when this is finished.
All right, sounds good. How is everybody else liking the roundabout? Yeah, pretty good. All right, well,
Have
great.
you guys heard anything?
I haven't heard a thing. I've been through it twice. I like it. I
I
think
seem to
traffic
think I'm
moves a
just
lot
watching it just flowing
smoother.
along. Anyway, any other questions for me, guys?
Well, I heard positive things, but I haven't seen it with any kind of load on it. It's been pretty unoccupied when I've gone through.
Oh my gosh, I think it was yesterday when I was over there, just a steady flow going around that circle. So, and I don't know of anybody that's got stuck on the circle yet. Can't get off, no? All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming in, Todd. Anybody else for public comment? Come on up. Just state your name and address for the record, please.
Hello. Whoa, that's loud. My name is Janet Schock. Actually live in Athens Township, kind of in the Todd land over there. So I'm not here to attack anybody, so I will make sure that's straight, okay? And George, if you feel the need to rest, I get it. I'm 52. Just stand up. I've
Oh,
had
my
to do it in the
goodness.
military.
You just said
You're
you
a
weren't going
famous
to
man
attack
now.
anybody.
I'm just giving you a hard time. So the reason I came here tonight is, yes, we did just have the school vote. I have spoken out against you, Luke, for the way that you have spoken towards people, okay? And yes, a lot of things came to light, and I am not very thrilled at the way that you have approached people. However, it's a two-way street, right? It's the way we all conduct ourselves. Now, I fought for this country. I'm a veteran. I bled for this country. I've had shrapnel removed out of my back. I've suffered a TBI. I've done a lot of things for this country. So I feel that when I tell you, Luke, and I've pulled you aside a couple of times, hey, tone it down a bit, calm yourself, take a deep breath, all right? Now, I'm gonna be the bigger and better person here, okay? First and foremost, I kind of want to make a deal with Luke Mayer, if we can, okay, to meet halfway. And I'm here to make peace, okay? So I don't want you to feel like this is an attack on you, all right? Now, yes, I posted screenshots of things that you have yourself posted on Facebook, okay, to get a point across. As a leader, and I've been a leader in the military, we need to do better than that. Can we agree on that? Yes? Okay. All right. Because when you have tact and when you talk to people with tact, you can actually get through to them instead of what has been happening. And what I'm worried about is that you will not be reelected if this continues on. And we have to be careful of who sits in your seat, because we cannot have what's going on in New York City, even though we're small town America. We cannot have that here, okay? Now, and you all have it in public, Rum River Radio, okay? I personally will apologize to you for sharing your statements via screenshots to make a message clear of why we cannot conduct ourselves in this manner as a leader. But I would like to ask of you, Luke, and I'm talking to you politely, to come to middle ground for this right here, is to apologize for some of the statements that you have said. Not all of them were bad.
Sure.
You
All right.
have a right to your opinion, whether it's personal page or mayor page.
We're at 3 minutes.
Right, but do you apologize to those folks?
There's definitely some things that I've said that I probably shouldn't have said. Correct. So I apologize for those things, but not all of them, because I represent the people that elected me. So
I get it.
thank you.
And
That-
could I
that-
just have 30 seconds?
No,
I swear-
sorry,
okay.
we have to abide by the rules tonight, but
All right.
we can have a phone call. So
Yep.
I appreciate your input.
Well, let's sit down and work together, and I
Okay.
appreciate you volunteering your time for
Yep.
the school.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Want- Does this turn off?
You can just set it down. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Janet. Thank you for your service.
All right, anybody else for public comment tonight? Come on up. Just state your name and address for the record, please, and you have 3 minutes. Want to grab the microphone? Yeah, that one's better.
Ted Knutson.
There you go.
111 Second Avenue Southwest. Thank you for your service. I have a little bit different opinion here. I want to thank you for stepping up and out of your way and putting your time and effort into getting information out to the public about the referendum. Whether people voted yes or no, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is he was getting the information out for us to make that decision with the information instead of just going based off our feelings. And I want to thank you for that. And you are an exemplary mayor, and I will vote for you again 100%. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Anybody else for public comment? Come on up, Erica. Thank you for coming in. Just state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Erica Zidane, 709 Bergman Court, Isani. We are here today, not for the referendum, but for Isani Illuminate. We created a volunteer group to continue this tradition that was really in a negative light, and now we are going to change it into a very positive situation. So we are glad that you didn't cancel it, as you were stating earlier. We would like you to partner with us with your own time on night one and help us switch the light. And then we'll be there as well as the first host of the evening. We would love to have all of you there as well to host with us. We've made a few changes. We moved Santa into a new secret location. We have a few
Secret.
choirs coming that are gonna sing. We have Janet who's going to DJ Christmas carols one evening. A few different things that are gonna happen. We've used the majority of the same lights that were purchased by the city, but hope in the future to definitely add some more. Have raised all the funds ourselves, have put up all the displays by ourselves, with a little bit of city work. But otherwise, we are very excited for it to go forward, and thank you guys for letting us take it over.
Thank you so much. I would love to be there, so let us know the date, and if there are more than two of us, we'll have to post for a quorum. So if you could provide the date to Ms. Wood, she could post about that, and then we can legally all be there, so.
December 11th. Lights flip on at 5:30. Yep. The host is from 5 until 8:40, but that's pretty slushy.
Yeah, thank you, that's a,
Yes.
thank you. You guys. You guys interested in that first night potentially?
Potentially, yeah.
Okay. Well, sounds good, thank you for coming in. Anybody else for public comment? Come on up, just state your name and address for the record, please. Thank you for coming in.
Nancy Judd, 32640 Scopeman Lake Road, Cambridge. And I just personally wanted to come in and thank you also, because many people I know really appreciated all the efforts that you put in for the last 4 months to educate us and help us to understand what was going on. And especially those families that you were talking about with kids, and they need help at home. They've got repairs on their homes and things like that, and that should come first. And that's where you're talking about, it's for the kids. So I just wanted to personally thank you for all your time and effort, and let you know that it was greatly appreciated.
Thank you for coming in, I appreciate it. Anybody else for public comment tonight? Come on up. Bet you're excited for one of the items tonight on the agenda.
Hi, I'm Aaron Zidane, same address as Erica, 709 Bergman Court, Isanti. I'm just here to thank the council and park board, there's some of them here also, for all the time that's been put into this skate park project. Before most of you were here, we've been talking about expanding this skate park literally for 15 years. But it's all been talk. I'm hoping tonight that you are the action board, and that tonight we take an action on this and at least get phase 1 going. It's way overdue. The Public Works has done an amazing job keeping this alive, but it's just, as we've talked about it, many meetings, it's old, it's outdated. We really need to bring it into at least the 2020s. So we have that in front of us today. I know we've also brought in the pickleball project. and that they're in one resolution. I do ask that if you're not ready to move forward on that, that we do act on the skate park tonight, because that has to get on the schedule and be built over the winter so that it can be installed in the spring. If you wait till spring, check, check. If you wait till spring, it's too late, because then your skate park is tore up all summer, and now we're this time of the year again. So I just ask that hopefully they both pass. If you're not ready to move on pickleball, because they were tied together at the last park meeting, that we can at least move forward on the skate park project. And that's what I got. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. Anybody else this evening for public comment? You're welcome to come forward. Hearing none, we will close the public comment, and we will move on to adopting the agenda. Are there any changes or additions, Ms. Wood?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. No, there are not.
You guys have any changes or concerns? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Heeman, second by Councilmember Peterson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The agenda is approved. Next, we'll move on to the city council meeting minutes, October 21st, 2025 Committee of the Whole meeting minutes, and the October 21st, 2025 city council meeting minutes. Are there any questions or additions or changes?
No, motion to approve.
Second.
Motion approved by Councilmember Heeman, second by Councilmember Peterson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Announcements, city offices will be closed Tuesday, November 11th, 2025, in observance of the holiday. Committee of the Whole meeting Tuesday, November 18th, 2025 at 5 p.m. Planning Commission meeting Tuesday, November 18th, 2025 at 6 p.m. City Council meeting Tuesday, November 18th, 2025 at 7 p.m. The Isani Hills final assessment hearing will be Tuesday, November 18th, 2025 at 7 p.m. And the Park and Rec Board meeting will be Tuesday, November 25th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Are there any council committee reports tonight? George, really?
Well, I discussed the fire board. Things snowballed the night of the Park and Rec meeting. I missed it. I did watch it. It was a great meeting. They had a guy come in and explain the history of pickleball, basically, and he was part of the association of a nonprofit they have up in Cambridge. He's involved in it. Muller, I think was his last name. That discussion about the pickleboard and the skate park, and they want to, it's on our agenda tonight to roll it into a dual project, which I personally think looks like a good idea. I guess we'll have discussion about that later. That's about all.
All right, any other council committee reports? All right, hearing none, we will move into business item K1, a resolution to consider authorization of park dedication fund expenditures for 6 pickleball courts and Phase 1 of the skate park. Ms. Wood, do you have, or Stephanie, or Josh?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Yeah, so Park Board has recommended moving forward with the 6 pickleball courts and also moving forward with the first phase of the skate park. The pickleball courts were not to exceed $200,000 and the skate park was not to exceed $72,000.
Okay. I have a little bit of a different idea. I think that personally, I would like to see us do the Phase 1 of the skate park this year. I think that's something that we have really talked a lot about and gotten a good value for what we're getting out of that. I think that's something that we should consider moving forward with. I would propose that we consider moving the pickleball courts. It's not as time sensitive, but consider, the next couple months talking about alternative solutions to maybe save some money on those. I know we had talked about potentially applying for a grant, or maybe we could, work with some community contractors to get, some time donated or something, work with the Pickleball Association to try and get those costs down a little bit more. We fight for taxpayers, and I would just like to see us give a couple more months of work towards reducing the cost on that on the pickleball court, but see us do the skate park stuff this winter for sure. So that's just my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but.
I have a question on the location where they want to put the pickleball court. when I drove by there, I see that we have, I'm guessing it's just an ice rink that they put out just for the kids.
Pleasure rink in the winter, yeah.
And it's the only one we have in that park? Any type of ice hockey or,
Yeah.
can it be moved?
It's on the right.
They said it'd be easier for it to be moved. The one thing that I didn't hear brought up was what the cost would be for adding lighting to the rink, because that would need lighting a lot more than pickleball court would, primarily being used in winter when days are shorter.
Yeah, you could add a light, I believe, Stephanie, we did one, it was less than 6,000.
For multiple?
Just, that, I think that one light would do the whole pleasure rink. Because would be like the light that lights up the whole park.
Okay.
Is that with running the wiring, or is there power already where this proposed pleasure rink would be?
Yeah, there's power already
Okay,
over on that side, yeah.
cool. Good job with the design.
Been working on it 15 years.
It's a pretty good spot for the pickleball courts with those lights set up, because you guys would be one of the only pickleball courts that are lit outdoor like that.
I agree. What do you think?
How much cost savings are you looking to get if we
Well-
hold this off a couple of months? What are you thinking? Because I don't think that 200,000 is rolling stone. I mean, it looked like if we had our own department do it, it would be about 30,000 for every two. So really, that's only 90 or 100,000, but I know we don't want them to take the time to do it, or if they even have the resources to do 6.
I didn't reach out for multiple quotes. I just got one, and just so I knew what not to exceed.
So-
This is, just to clarify on that a little more, this is an estimate, because we didn't want to spend too much staff time if this wasn't going to move forward, but if this is likely to move forward, I mean, like as Mr. Becker said, it's not set in stone. We will be doing our normal process to receive quotes out and to go out for this project, you know, individually for the pickleball, and then, you know, however we're going to do with the skate park phase. But, so there is a possibility that that could be less.
So to answer your question about how much could we reduce this project, I'm hoping, you know, I'm on the county park board, and there's outdoor grants for getting people involved. There's all sorts of different opportunities. The DNR has one. And a lot of those have what they call a local match. So for the local municipality is gonna have to present 10%, 50%, whatever. So just say, for example, you have a 50% local match, and say this pickleball court comes in at $200,000 or $300,000, we would only have to contribute half of that. And if we wanted to apply for a grant and get 8 courts or 12 courts for the same amount of city money, we could basically use our dollars to invest with the grant to get a better pickleball setup. So I think we just need a little bit more planning, so we can get the best value on our dollar. You know, if we're putting $200,000, 50% match in on a $400,000 project, we're still spending $200,000, but we'll get a $400,000 project out of it. So that's how we do it with the county park board, and I would like to see us try and use that if we can. So, you know, maybe we could do it for 8 courts for $100,000. Maybe we could add skate park stuff to that grant application. You know, there's a lot of different opportunities for that, so.
Okay, looking at this photo, it says the spot that they have designated for, it says 1 to 4 courts. I personally wouldn't even want to move forward unless we can do at least 6.
Right.
Because that will bring more people from outside our area spending money inside the city limits, and that would at least help a little bit offset this.
It would be 6 courts in that area. It would just be the 4 under the lights.
I feel like you need a,
Okay, so that's what that meant, 1 to 4 under the lights.
I feel like you would need a ton of people to offset that cost. Like, to recoup that is
Right.
not gonna be
Right.
anything like short of decades.
True.
If the goal should be to provide amenities to the taxpayers, since they're the ones, it's their funds, not to try and draw stuff in that isn't gonna pay back the cost in any kind of reasonable amount of time.
So I had talked to somebody tonight, and they made a good point about, you know, what if you want to have like a family event there, and you have your family, and if there's only 4 courts, there's not enough for everybody to play, but if you have 6 or 8, that's just one example, and I think people could have parties there, you know, the tournament value, and we could do more checking with the Pickleball Association and see, like, hey, if we do 6 or 8 courts, will you run the tournaments, will you donate benches, will you contribute money, like I think there's just a lot more work to be done on this, on the specifics, but I think there's definitely good hope. Yeah, Ms. Wood?
Mayor, Council, if I could share, we do have Mike here who is on the Pickleball Association.
Sure.
And he's willing to talk a little bit too, if we have questions directly for him. And one thing that was shared at the park board is that they're willing to donate $5,000, which is pretty phenomenal. But if you are interested, he's here and available for any questions you may have.
Okay. You want to come on up? Just state your name and address for the record, please. Thanks for coming in.
I'm Mike Mueller from Maple Drive in Cambridge, and I'm the president of the Cambridge Area Pickleball Association, which, as you heard, is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation. And it was formed specifically because the city of Cambridge wanted a cost share when they built the last 4 courts at Central Green Park. And so we were asked to pay 20%. At the time, they asked for 20% of $80,000. I don't actually know what they ended up spending on the courts because it was a combined project with a basketball court as well. But we raised $20,000 for the courts. We raised an additional $6,000 to go towards windscreens and benches. And we've already approved at our May meeting to donate up to $5,000 for windscreens and benches for dedicated pickleball courts in Isani. And we're more than willing to try and help out where we can. So I think if we can coordinate on things like that, that would be a great thing.
Sure. Any questions from you guys? I appreciate the input, and I know you've been here a couple times, and I've listened to the meetings, so we appreciate all the work, and this is what it's all about, the community doing things that the community wants to do, so.
Part of our mission statement is to promote pickleball opportunities in the town. It's not just Cambridge, so we'd love to work with you guys to help make it happen.
Sure. Any questions, Nick?
No, my thoughts
you.
are with what we have for park dedication fund, I don't want to run it too low.
Right.
And beating up that much that soon, when like Isani Hills needs a lot of, I think can use some improvement. There's some additional equipment that could be used at Bluebird, and because they got rid of like monkey bars and other things. So some gaps in the new equipment that we could fill. And then, there's another park that needs some attention too, I think. So I'd like to save some funds for that. So if we can reduce the costs on the pickleball project, I would rather see that. Get the skate park thing going, because there's a demand and it's off peak, so it makes sense to get it done, like he was talking about, but I'd like to try and get the costs down on pickleball if that is something we're gonna go forward on.
Sure. Ms.
Is there a
Wood?
number you guys would like to get to?
Before we maybe share on that topic, I do want to update the council and let you know that our balance now is at about $400,000. We did have another payment come into the park dedication fund. So from the time that the memo was written to now, it's a little bit higher, actually.
I think that the price depends on, how many courts and what we can figure out, I would, personally, I don't see how 6 courts cost more than $100,000. I just,
I'm with you.
I don't see it, but it's
That's
not my
why I was
space.
wondering, because I
Yeah.
can reach out for more bids.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
why I was wondering, for 6 courts.
Yeah, definitely get,
6 and 8.
yeah.
Yeah, how many can we fit in that area? What's the maximum?
The-
Let's say this is really successful and a community loves it and the courts are full.
The rough quotes I got, the more courts you went, the cheaper it got.
Sure.
I have
Per court
Up to
cheaper.
12 courts of numbers, but it was a fast quote, so I had numbers to give.
Sure.
Is there room for 12 there?
Not necessarily in that spot.
Think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I brought them to different locations.
Could you get a quote for 6 and 8?
Yeah.
Is that tennis court used a lot down, what is the name of that?
Matson
You
Park?
gotta walk back into.
Whisper Ridge.
Yeah. Do
We
they,
can't put pickleball there.
no, can we take that, can we use that fence? That's a lot of tall fence. And would we? Is it worth using?
I think that neighborhood wants to keep that.
Yeah, the
Okay.
fence.
Because I know fencing's gonna cost a lot for this, so. Okay,
The fencing and the gates actually are quite a bit of money. It's all included, yeah, and that was no discount for the windscreens or benches, which the pickleball was talking about. That was literally, give me a quote, they come in, they do everything. And the quote was with concrete, with the rubberized, and it was cheaper by quite a bit to go to blacktop, but you still gotta do the rubber coat on there. So I just wanted to give you a quote, worst case scenario, do not exceed 6 pickleball courts.
Yeah, I have a hard time just approving, do not exceed that big number, though. It's, yeah, it's not a good practice, I think, for government. But yeah, I think it's great if we could get, a couple more quotes. Do we have to, I know it's probably typical, do you have to have a fence? It's,
Yeah.
okay, definitely, okay,
Well, it gets it starting, so the do not exceed, I would get quotes
Right.
from different vendors.
sure,
You know
yep.
what I mean? So the do not exceed just gets you started, then if I get the 3 quotes.
Well, and just if I could interrupt, because this is gonna hit that threshold of potentially 175,000, it puts us into another category, which takes a considerable amount of time. It involves engineering to draft bid documents, that kind of thing. So it's kind of why we wanted, this is not typical of what we do, but before we expend resources and time and staff's, wages and doing a bunch of work, to make sure it's really a viable project.
I think it's a viable project. I'm in on
I
it.
think
Just-
it is.
We just have to figure out the costs and the pricing. If you want to come on up, just state your name and address for the record, please. Yeah, that's what I was gonna imply.
Good evening, Alyssa Chartrand, 903 Rum River Drive, Southwest. Just quickly, I know that when you were doing that quick bid, you did get the concrete pricing. That's not the preferred surface to play on. It is asphalt.
Okay,
So that should help when you're going out and getting bids.
Yeah, it's cheaper with blacktop for sure.
okay.
And I didn't know that you guys would rather have blacktop under the rubber?
What's the longevity of the blacktop courses versus the concrete? 20 versus 50, or?
You could minus $25,000 on a 6.
No, but the course, like how long will it hold up? A
The
blacktop,
durability, the length of
20-year
life.
service life versus 50 for the concrete, or what's the
The
trade-off?
concrete would just not crack as fast, it would hold up better. Was their theory when they gave me the quotes.
But cracks, you could just redo the coating, you'd fill the crack in, or would that not?
Yeah, you would be maintaining the blacktop more like because the cracks would spread wider than in concrete.
Okay.
So that rubber resurfacing stuff is fairly expensive.
okay. So Cambridge, all their pickleball courts have the rubber on them? Okay. I'm okay with your idea, Luke. I think it's the best way to go. Give this a few months, see if we can reach out for some funding on this. We have a little bit of time. We probably still could get something going next summer if needed.
I think we should work on it at least till, February, March. So that way if we can find something and we have a whole season to play on it if we figure something out type of thing.
We got road projects too next year, right?
What's that?
We have road projects too next year?
Yeah, and we could look into pairing it with road projects that, I don't know if it's, I don't know. We
At the
could look
park
into
meeting,
it.
they were saying that's how they were able to drop the cost down
Right.
quite a bit, was they had paired it with their street projects that they were doing.
That's something to consider. Jeff, what are your thoughts?
I'm ready to move on the skate park aspect of it. I've got some reservations on the pickleball courts and the location. But I see on the map that we have is the future seasonal ice rink is in where the BMX parks, vehicles and campers. How many? Yep, I know. But how many races does BMX have in the winter time? Don't park there at all? At all. Okay. Well, I've seen it plowed, so, well. So, well,
Okay.
Where that is on that south end, they pile the BMX track snow on the north end of that big area. And then that's got great proximity to the arena if they wanted to walk over there.
We plowed it the 1 year for Illuminate Isani.
Okay,
That's all the only year we plowed it.
okay.
So it sounds like maybe we should, break out the skate park section and talk about that. Nick, are you good with, talking more about the pickleball courts at the next meeting or planning out, trying to get more information? Does that sound like a plan on that?
Yeah, I'm not against it, just, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'd like to drive that down as,
Yep,
I think we can
okay.
get a lot lower on it.
Sounds good. So we'll talk about this, just the skate park part then. I think it's a good plan. I would still like for us to maybe try and see if we can do something to save some money on the changes with the center ramp. What is that ramp called again?
Pyramid?
The pyramid ramp. But I like, the idea of just having a do not to exceed number on that line item personally. I think the other stuff is good, and I think it meets the need of what our skate park users said would be the most beneficial at a pretty fair cost. But that's my opinion. George?
My opinion is, I like minimum what we're doing, and I'm still gonna push for more. I still like his original plan that he presented. I'd like to be able to do the whole thing, but.
I think we
I'm-
include
I'm
that in the
sticking-
grant.
I'm sticking, this is minimum.
Roll that into a grant with the pickleball court, and maybe we can pay $200,000 for the pickleball court and get a $200,000 skate park for free. That's.
Right, that'd be
There's
nice.
some flexibility there, and if on a grant application, if you have two items that are, different like that, you'd have a higher rank scoring too, so.
I mean, I'd really like to have that phase 2 minimum going soon. That's all I'm saying. Especially if we get some funding for the pickleball courts, I'd like to see phase 2 go ahead on the skateboard park. That'd be great.
Okay. But you're good with what's presented for the skate park?
Yes.
Okay.
Josh, if you could just give a update on exactly what this is including. Stephanie's gonna pull up what that was, because staff did solicit quotes, and so if we wanna just actually accept that quote from
Okay.
them and the dollar amount, she's gonna pull that up, but if you wanna share, do you have that information?
It was, all of the, I don't have it broken down on this sheet, but I have the total. Didn't you have another sheet?
There it is.
Yeah, and that's not in our packet this week, so.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
not.
It's not, so I was a little curious on that, but I know I'd seen it last month.
We'll just have Stephanie read it, if you can just pull it from the packet from before.
Sure. Thanks.
Oh, I thought they had one.
Thank you.
It is for, part one was $8,749 for the floating style deep deck. Section 2 was $14,787 for a fly box with grind boxes of varying heights and widths. And section 3, which is a long plaza style steel grind rail, and which is $2,465. Section 4 was one 5-foot tall and 24-foot wide concrete bank ramp with integrated hip, made of concrete and steel for $29,252. And then 5 is a reconfiguration and rehab service on existing, only as necessary, not to exceed $15,975. And so for the total amount, it's $71,228.
Jeff, Nick, what are your thoughts?
I'm okay with the 72,000.
With the not to exceed on the item 5, which is the reconstruction? Okay.
Well, and Mayor and Council, we can revise the resolution, so if this does pass with a motion, second, and vote, we could do it in the amount of exactly what it is, which was the $71,228, and work through the vendor of Ramparts specifically, and then the resolution will not include anything for the pickleball court.
Yep. Nick, are you good with the proposal for the skate park stuff?
Yeah, I'm not sure, I don't see where you're talking about line 5. The resolution I have just shows 3.
I was reading off of that quote.
Okay.
It's the restructuring or the moving of the existing and then fixing up some of the existing.
Okay.
It'll be a not to exceed, and hopefully maybe we'll get lucky and he can save a little money, so.
Yeah, I'm fine with adding the stipulation to it.
Okay. So I'll entertain a motion just to go ahead with the skate park additions tonight.
Motion to approve phase one of the skate park?
Motion to, yeah, I'll second the 71,228.
Sounds good. There's a motion by Councilmember Peterson, a second by Councilmember Heeman. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you, guys. It's been a lot of work, and I really appreciate all the skaters that were involved and everybody else that was involved in that, so thank you. All right, we will move on. We will move on to item K2, resolution to consider approving zoning map amendment for 209 Main Street West.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight we have a zoning map amendment for, sorry, just turning to the right page. 209 Main Street West, and Austin Assets LLC requested approval of this amendment. The property is currently zoned R3A, low-density multiple family, and is located adjacent to what is currently the B1 Central Business and D1 Downtown Overlay Districts. The City Planning Commission did conduct a public hearing for the zoning map amendment on October 21st and did recommend approval of this moving forward. The applicant is here if you would like to ask any further additional questions.
This is as was presented to Planning Commission, correct?
Exactly, yes.
Okay. I don't have any questions. Do you guys?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Councilmember Heeman, second by Councilmember Peterson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Thanks for coming in. All right, item K3, resolution to consider approving the determination of Minnesota paid leave law percentage for employee and employer.
Mayor and Council, effective January of 2026, we do have the Minnesota Paid Leave Act goes into effect, and the contribution for the premium is set, what we have before you is set to be 50% employer and 50% employee paid. The total amount, it'd be 0.76% of wages. That'd be a 0.38% to the employer, 0.38% to the employee. And that amount of money comes to $27,317.22 for the full premium, half being at $13,658.61. This is a program that is mandated through the state, and the city does not have a choice in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we asked, during the last meeting, I asked, is that the company we'd be going through, are they bonded and insured? So if they default on, if for some reason they have a lot of claims, more than they expect, and they don't have enough money to cover that, are they bonded so that our investment in them is covered?
I apologize, I do not have that information.
Well, I'm not okay with approving this. That's a big risk until we get that. So I would,
Motion to table.
is that okay, or do we need to know that right now? Is there a time?
This just needs to be passed before the end of the year.
December, okay. All right, then I'll motion to table. Do you guys have anything else? Any other questions you'd like before we have them go off with that?
Second.
Okay, motion by myself to table, second by Councilmember Peterson. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0, so we'll table that one. Okay. Next is the consent agenda. Do you guys have anything you'd like to pull out for a direct discussion or any questions on any of it? None?
Hold on 1 second. I just wanted to peek at one more thing. No, I'm good.
Jeff, Nick? All right, I'll entertain a motion then.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion approved by Councilmember Heeman, second by Councilmember Peterson. All in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Do you guys have any other communications or questions, discussion, anything?
I just want to mention I did follow up with the attorney, and he's working on getting me an answer about the changing the employee policy.
Okay. Sounds good. Anything else? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Peterson, second by Councilmember Holmgren to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. We are adjourned.